Wherever we live, whatever we do, we all want energy, and we want it now. At FractiCorp, we harvest the energy that's buried deep beneath our feet to provide heat and light for our children and our children's children. We care about your energy needs, and we care about your environment. That's why for every dollar we spend exploring new regions around the world, we spend $2 on wildlife rehabilitation, on tree planting and sustainability, and on providing fresh drinking water to villages across Asia. FractiCorp, a company that cares. FractiCorp, drilling deeper for a brighter future.
FractiCorp was incorporated in 2009 alongside the Damascus Drilling Corporation, based in Lansing, Michigan. Now phase 2 is being tested at sites across Yorkshire. Earlier today, police estimated over 100 protesters gathered at Ashley Farm near Rufford to voice their opposition and express their concerns about ground tremor activity in the area.
Mr. Graves?
Doesn't anyone bother to knock anymore?
I'm sorry, Mr. Graves, but we've got a problem.
Have we now? Why don't you tell me exactly what that problem is?
Well, can I? So we got through the Aquacode last week. Everything's fine. The casing's going in, and from there we've turned 130 degrees to the southeast. We've hit a pre-existing fault. It wasn't there in the initial surveys.
Great. When exactly did this happen?
Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday.
Okay, right. Okay, so we just stop what we're doing, reverse the whole thing back up and move it about, what, 10 degrees? Simple. Problem solved.
Not really, not exactly. That's not exactly the problem.
Isn't it now? Why don't you tell me exactly what the problem is?
Okay, for two things. First, we've been drilling into the shallow aquifer for the last 48 hours. And second of all, the transducers, they're showing we could induce seismicity anytime soon.
Are you suggesting an earthquake?
Not an earthquake exactly. Maybe small tremors. Maybe. We've triangulated the fault. It's underneath St. Peter's. We've been drilling underneath there for 6 hours.
Sounds magical. Should I know it?
Well, probably. It's the 15th century church, the listed building.
Look, I don't need to tell you what happens if this goes wrong, do I?
I'm sorry, Mr. Graves. This whole thing was too rushed. The South Bore was in completely the wrong place. We should never have started this without the proper surveys.
Right. Listen to me. Pitkins or whatever your bloody name is.
It's Pitkin.
We're here to do a job. A very important job. Our job is to provide energy for the great British public. Well, the British public anyway. So I don't need to tell you how much is at stake here, do I? Like my job. And,
Mr. Graves.
Pitkins, your job. In fact, everyone in the whole goddamn company's job. So why don't you run along and go fix whatever it is that needs fixing? Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Now.
Mr. Graves.
I said now!
We don't want you here no more. FractiCorp, you know the score. We don't want you here no more. FractiCorp, you know the score. We don't want you here no more. FractiCorp, you know the score. We don't want you here no more. FractiCorp, you know the score. We don't want you here no more. FractiCorp, you know the score. We don't want you here no more.
Bring your machines, don't make a scene. There's nothing but shale under here. Quick as a stitch, the village gets rich. Surely there's nothing to fear. Though we all fear what lives out of sight, and they're fracking the tombs of the earth right through the night. And for all we know, something is waiting below, waiting to break from the spell, fracking hell, fracking hell.
Hello? Yeah, it's me again. Look, they've got the results of the surveys in. They're everywhere. Rivers. There's loads of subterranean rivers. Deep. And especially under Rydale. It's where they get most of their drinking water from. No, listen. Pretty soon, we're going to start pumping what's effectively dilute hydrochloric acid into the ground. And eventually that's going to get into the drinking water. No, that's not actually the problem. There's heaps of radon already under there. Radon, it's a radioactive gas. It's natural, but it's not a problem as long as it stays underground. But once we open those valves, they'll be pushing all that radioactivity to the surface. Listen. Tell your readers to think about moving. There's no way that FractiCorp is going to guarantee house prices around here.
Hydraulic fracturing companies. It's just coming up to 10:25 on Radio Wharfdale. Here in the studio, we're joined by Victor Savage from FractiCorp, one of the world's leading hydraulic fracturing companies, and he's here to answer your questions and put to rest any fears you might have about the process and its effects. We're live in Leeds. Telephone lines are open and busy, but you can still call the show on 011-349-66600. And we've got Angela Jackson on the line. She's calling from Ripon in North Yorkshire. Hi, Angela. What's your feeling about all this?
Hello. I just want to ask Mr. Savage about the Lucifer system. I want to ask him what the fracking companies intend to do about all the poisonous chemicals that they're pumping into the ground under my children's school.
Well, that depends on what you mean when you talk about so-called poisonous chemicals.
Yes. What sort of chemicals are going in?
That's classified. I'm not really in a position...
I'll tell you what's in it. Benzene, toluene, ethyl benzene, xylene. If there's stuff in a factory, it'd be locked up by health and safety. But Fractica are just allowed to squirt it into the ground, anywhere they want. Politicians don't seem to be bothered. I tell you, it's more difficult for you and me to get planning permission for a kitchen extension than it is for them to apply to build a fracking rig. The government just green lights the whole thing. There's got to be some money changing hands somewhere.
Wait, okay. We should say allegedly. Well, thanks for that, Angela. We've got lots of other calls waiting, and there's still a chance to call in to give your views or put your questions
It's
to
not
Victor.
like coal mining. You people can pump whatever you like into the ground, and when you finish, you can just drive away. You can just leave it. You don't have to make good. You're under no obligation to put it right.
Well, Angela, we've been fracking all over the world, and it's perfectly safe. It's got a great track record elsewhere, and I think you'll...
Yes, but in
find...
America and Australia, you're doing it in the middle of bloody nowhere. In the middle of the desert. In Rydale, some of these drilling sites are practically under people's gardens. You people are pumping all this stuff into the ground. We don't know what happens if one of these pipes fail. What happens if there's an earthquake?
There will be no earthquakes.
But you don't know that for certain. You guys are making earthquakes. What happens if an earthquake fractures one of the pipes you're pumping chemicals through?
Seismic activity is very unlikely.
You don't know, do you? Do you? What happens? What happens if there's an earthquake? What happens?
There will be no earthquakes.
can I feed the ducks now?
Yeah, off you go.
Mummy, where's all the water gone?
Geoffrey, how nice to see you.
Councillor Bennett, you've got to stop them.
Who?
The fracking. You've got to stop it.
Oh. Well, you know that's not going to happen, don't you? Tea? Or something stronger? I'm having a vodka. You look worried.
You've got to stop them. It's causing too much damage. It's simply too big a risk. Look, it's using too much water. The rivers are running dry, and there's this constant weird smell. It's affecting homes. And animals have disappeared, dogs have gone missing, and my parishioners are coming to me in tears. They're worried. They can't sleep. Some of them haven't slept for days because of that incessant noise. They're worried about the value of their homes or whether they'll fall down. They're worried. I'm worried. I've seen dead fish floating in the river, and that's never happened before. And things are starting to happen.
What things? Geoffrey, look, there are lots and lots of people bleating on about safety and risk, harping on about drinking water and earthquakes, but they don't want wind farms, do they? Because it's a blot on the landscape. And they don't want nuclear because that's scary. But they still want to turn the toasters on and the lights just like everybody else. They want to watch their TV. They want the central heating on. They need energy. They need jobs. They need money. Fracking has brought all of that. Can you not see? Fracking is perfectly safe when you drill deep enough. It does not affect the watercourse. Geoffrey, there are thousands and thousands of sites across the States. The percentage of problems are very low.
Councillor, we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about what's going on deep down there below the Earth, 2 miles under. Geological processes on the Earth's surface, earthquakes, volcanoes are simply an expression of what's going on inside the Earth, out of sight. There are things down there, things below us, forces we don't know and powers we can never understand.
Fracking is really a pipeline to hell.
Hello?
Bad things to the earth. Eventually the earth's going to want to do bad things to you. You take things from the earth, the earth's going to want to take things from you.
You're a thief, Mr. Graves. You're taking our land, you're taking our communities, and now you're taking our lives. And that makes you a murderer.
You've got a nerve showing your face out here. Or don't you go and crawl back down one of those holes that you've dug?
You do bad things to the earth.
You've got a nerve showing your face out here. Or don't you go and crawl back down one of those holes that you've dug? You've got a nerve showing your face
And that makes you a murderer.
You go and crawl back down one of those holes.
Councillor Bennett. What brings you here on this fine evening?
Did you get my message?
Message? No, I'm sorry, no messages.
We need to talk.
Do we?
We've got problems. We've got big problems. The locals are getting upset.
Well, Councillor Bennett, I suggest they're your problems, not mine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got problems of my own to deal with. Real ones. You can see yourself out.
Look, we've got a situation. The locals are uneasy. Things are happening. Things we never agreed to. We need to sort this. We need to discuss it. What the hell's he doing here?
First rule of fracking. First rule of business. In fact, Councillor Bennett, first rule of everything. Nothing's ever what it seems.
FractiCorp, you know the score. We don't want you here no more. FractiCorp, you know the score. We don't want you here no more.
That's enough, Robert. Thank you. Look, Councillor Bennett, like me, you're just part of a complex puzzle. I've got dozens of men in place like him. Find it helps the business run smoother if we, you know, run it ourselves. That'll be all for today, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Graves. It's been a pleasure. Just, one more thing.
Absolutely.
Seriously?
I think you'll find it's all there.
Oh, come on.
Nice one. See you next on...
Friday, as agreed.
Friday.
You close the door behind you, please, Robert. You see, Councillor, fracking's a business, not a science. Not exact science, anyway. It is, however, an opportunity to make you, and people like you, a lot of money.
No way. No way. This is not what we agreed to. I didn't sign up for this. This was supposed to be a straightforward deal. You're not doing what you said you would. You're not digging deep enough. You said it wouldn't affect the water course. The river levels are dropping, and there's dead fish and dead ducks in what's left. I want out. I want you to stop. I want to give you your money back.
As you're aware, Councillor, it doesn't work like that.
FractiCorp pay you and people like you a lot of money to keep quiet. Not enough! A lot of money to keep people off our backs. So, Councillor Bennett, go back to doing whatever it is you do and take those little problems with you. The hell was that?
No.
We're in this together. If I go down, everyone goes down.
No.
Come on. Shit.
Why don't you go and crawl back down one of those holes that you've dug?
You do bad things to the earth. Eventually, Earth's going to do bad things to you.
Come on, he's getting away! Quick!
So that makes you a murderer.
Why don't you go and crawl back down one of those holes that you've dug?
You do bad things to the earth. Eventually the earth's going to want to do bad things to you.
That makes you a murderer.
Why don't you go and crawl back down one of those holes that you've dug?
You do bad things to the earth. Eventually the earth's going to do bad things to you. Eventually the earth's going to want to do bad things to you.
That makes you a murderer. A murderer. Murderer. Murderer.
Why don't you go and crawl back down? Go and crawl back down.
You do bad things to the earth. Eventually the earth's going to want to do bad things to you. You do bad things to the earth. The earth's going to want to do bad things to you. Bad things to you. Bad things to you. Bad things, bad things, bad things. The earth's going to want to do bad things to you. You do bad things to the earth. The earth's going to want to do bad things to you. Bad things to you. Bad things to you. It's going to do bad things to you.
This is the first resurrection. The rest of the dead did not come to life until the 1,000 years were ended.
And for all we know, something is waiting below. what country must we sell? It's for only power we are fracking hell.